Hello everyone, welcome back to Hydroneer. Sorry it's been, I guess it probably hadn't been that long for you, but been a day or so since I made the last video, and I've made some progress, and always wanted to restart the video, but then it went back to just a grind, so I did make a little more progress than I had intended, but let's have a look and see, and I'll get you caught up, because I did look at the end of the last one so I know where I left off. Okay, so I was talking about getting the harvester, and I went ahead and did that. It's not necessarily the only way to begin processing dirt. There's a conveyor also that can crunch up dirt into nuggets. But the conveyor is behind all these blocks. It's back here, and I put all this in here because when you put the dirt goes in the top of this thing, and you turn it on with hydropower, which I'm in the process of repiping right now. But you put it in the top, and then it comes out this output in the side here. You can see it right there, and it just kind of shoots out. Some of it dribbles out, some of it just comes power and flying out like a bullet, and some goes in all directions. And capturing it and into a container has turned out to be a very a tricky situation with the physics and so forth. So I know Max knows about this, and he's working on it, and I've seen in some of the of his developer update videos him talking about it and dealing with it. But it's doable, and I haven't moved to the next way that I'm going to try, which is with a conveyor belt. I just bought that. But anyway, you can see in here I've got these wood foundations in here to block things from flying around when they come out of here. And then below that I have a funnel, which sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. The nuggets, when they come out of this harvester, and I'll show you all this in a little bit, they get stuck in here in the funnel part of the cone. They don't roll all the way down, and you have to come in here and pick them out and drop them down the center, or put them in a container somehow. And then when you put the cauldron underneath it, they don't always fall into it. I can't get the funnel to really latch on to any of my pails or containers. So it's always an exercise in trying to capture the nuggets as they come out, and never being able to do it fully or even halfway, and then to pick them up and put them away. So one thing I did want to show you that I learned and that you'll want to know is, when you hit E to drop, remember when I hit E, it's going to drop on where the green unfilled circle is. Well, if you press and hold E, then it gives you what they call an advanced place, and it floats around, and you can let go of E after a couple of seconds because you're going to press E again to release it. Then you can pull it closer to you. You can also put it up somewhere. If I wanted to put this, up on top of something, I can do it. It's really handy. So this is what allows me to put this underneath here like this. I'm going to hit E again to drop it, and that's about as close as you can get, and that might get a third of what comes through there. But if you just try to normally drop it, if I try to bring this circle in here and try to drop it, it gets stuck up in here. And yes, I did try that. I got it stuck in there, hoping that might catch some nuggets, but that didn't work very well either. So this is what I've been doing up until now, and now I have this conveyor system. We'll go ahead and run a couple of buckets with this in there and show you how that works. That's the scale and the grinding, so I'll get to those in a minute. What else did we need to talk about? So then, how do you make the harvester operate? That I had to put together the hydro system. Is this thing on? What's making noise? I'm not sure if y'all can hear that, but I'm not sure what part of the game is making noise right now. This sounds like a machine. Anyway, I purchased some. Let me back up. Before you'll be able to purchase things, you need to know how I made the money, which was to do the jewelry, which we were talking about just at the end of the last episode. I know this truck here is really cool. We'll talk about that in a minute. I jumped way ahead, but I'm going to catch you all up. So To the next step you're going to do after, you don't want to sell nuggets. You'll have to sell nuggets at first because that's all you can do. Then you'll want to make bars, and you can sell the bars. And then the next thing you'll want to do is is to sell rings and finished products like jewelry and sword and dagger. So we take raw product, that is the dirt ore, we refine it into the nuggets. We can sell the nuggets if we have to, but you don't get as much money for it that way. We prefer to refine those into ingots or bars. We can sell those if we need to. We get a little more money than if we do nuggets, but if we further refine it into a finished product using the blacksmith, using the anvil and the blacksmith hammer, then we can make swords and so forth. And I run spreadsheets on my second monitor, and my wife teases me, but I'm kind of a geek like that, and I like to look at how much more profit you make, and I like to answer questions like, okay, well, let me back up a second. Let's say you make a ring, and the more metal you use and the bigger stone you use, the more it's going to sell for. And not all the nuggets are the same weight, and the prices can vary if you sell it on the stock market. If you sell it to the jeweler, the prices don't vary. If you go to the stock market, they can. So I like to know, for example, one question I have is, well, I've got 5 pounds worth of gold, and I got a bunch of gems. Should I make one big ring with a gem, or should I cut that ingot in half and make 2 rings with 2 different gems? And so I'll test that out, and then I'll put that on my spreadsheet and consider lots of different angles for which is the optimal way to make money and save time and be fun. All right, so so the first thing you want to do to make the first step to go from the raw dirt to smelt or refine it into nuggets is going to be this furnace. And so you purchase the furnace and you place that. Now, placing the things is something you need to know about. It's a little bit tricky. So I'm going to, let's see, this is unlocked right now. So when you place it, when you're holding it, you'll press the left mouse button to put it into placement mode, and then you'll use R to rotate it. You can also use T to rotate. This one doesn't rotate on the T axis, on the axis that T changes. You can also use Y when it's appropriate to rotate on all the axes. Okay, so then you just hit left mouse button again to place it, and you can pick it back up again, and it's kind of a pain if you do that accidentally. So there's a carpenter's hammer that you can use to lock things down, and you can purchase that in either one of the stores. You know what? I think that I take that back. I think that hammer is only in BridgePour. Where is my carpenter's hammer? Not there. These are weapons racks. I think I was using it up here. That's important. Where is it? There it is. Okay, I gotta get that. Construction hammer, that's what they call it. So if I hit that once with this, then now it's locked down, and you notice when I go to highlight it, there's no red silhouette around it anymore, telling me that it is locked down. So that's really nice if you're picking up nuggets off of these off the floor here, off of these wooden foundations, and you accidentally miss the nugget and click and pick up the foundation out from under it, and then all the nuggets fall onto the ground below it. It's a real pain. So this is a good tool to have and use. You can also use it to okay, I was going to say to repair things, but that's a different tool. That's the spanner. We'll talk about that in a little while. All right, put that back on the rack so I don't kick it. Now, what you'll find is things will disappear. They'll fly away, or like when I placed my anvil and it went underground, and I tried to dig down to it. It was underneath here and made a mess. And then what I ended up doing, I'll go ahead and show you because this is important. You may experience this. So if you're digging, and I can't dig here. Let me dig over here. Along the edges here, you can't dig. See where this bank starts right here? This is not diggable dirt. So keep that in mind when you're planning. Can't flatten over there, and can't really It's hard to build properly. So let me just show you something here with digging. So I'm going to just dig a hole here and just put a pile of dirt over here. Okay, and then I did whatever I was doing, and I either smelted this dirt or did whatever with it. I'm going to put it back in this hole, and I'm going to create a floaty bit. Okay, so right there you're looking at, I'm going to squat down here, you're looking at a suspended pile of dirt, right? And these can be bad because they will block you from walking, and you'll try to back up and you can't go through it, and it'll be really tiny and you won't even barely be able to see it. Watch how it gets smaller as I go. That wasn't too bad, but they can be sometimes really small, so be careful of those. If you're noticing that it created more dirt than it started with, you're very intuitive. Okay. Alright, so then we were placing, I showed you how to place the cauldron, and then the next thing, rather the furnace, and the next thing you'll need to purchase to make an ingot, they call them bars here, ingots, bars, whatever, is one of these cauldrons. So I have two of them. One I keep for iron, the other for gold. It's okay to use one, obviously, at the start, but I really don't find that I need more than two. So, oh hi, here from my YouTube. Welcome. Just also making making a YouTube video at the same time, catching folks up to progress I've made in the last day or so while I was grinding along the way. So, so you purchase the cauldron and you purchase this guy and you're ready to make bars. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do a batch. So I'm going to press and hold E here. Remember, for the advanced placement, put this under here and let it settle right there. And I don't really like that placement. I can get it farther back. Let me get squared up here. Okay, that's pretty good actually. Alright, then we're going to get the shovel. And now, let me just grab this and we'll go down and we'll talk about what I've done in the mine. So these tin roof pieces were a whole lot cheaper than the stairs that I used here, so I went ahead and did this to make my area down here, and I've used a table here right there, just to kind of, I wanted to buy a table and see how it goes. So these wooden cubicle foundations are much cheaper. So anyway, I dropped my pails there, and then I can come down and continue my digging. Alright, so I jumped ahead a little bit just to fill up those pails so you don't have to sit through that. And I'm going to show you how my system works here. So this, oh wait, I forgot. Right, so I need to finish this. Now I've got a little problem over here. My filtration system, is that filtration? Yeah. Needs some repair. So I have a spanner right here. This I bought in BridgePour, and you just do that, and it goes clickety click, and it stops sparking and smoking. And wait a minute, is this? I don't know what's making that noise. Okay, so anyway, I need to go get a couple of segments here. I had to move the intake back because I wanted to, so these various systems, this is the intake, the first thing you'll need to purchase, and you can put it up close to as close as about in here. Actually somewhere I think in here. The one that places it right here won't produce water, but when it does produce water, it'll drip out of there. So you'll be able to see it here like that. That's how you know when your intake valve is properly placed, because it'll drip. Alright, so let me do this. And now when you're placing these, there's three ways to rotate them. Alright, there's three axes. The R does it this way. I think that's the Z-axis, and then T rotates the other one. I'm not exactly sure what they are, and then Y rotates the other axis. So try R, T, and Y when you're in placement mode, right? So if you're just holding it in your hand like this, R, T, and Y don't do anything, right? You have to left click, get it into placement where it's a ghosted image there. Then you can use your rotation keys, R, T, and Y. And I just kind of fidget with it until it, you know what, I need to be up here until it looks like I want it, the direction I want it to. This is going to go, oh boy, I can't see. Okay, I think that's going to be it right there. I didn't plan this. Look at that, I think that's it. There. Okay. All right, so the intake unit, and the next important thing to know about is this unit here is a white water pipe filter. So if you look in the lower left-hand screen, it gives you the info about it. You hit F1 and it hides it. Hit F1 brings it back up. Filters and conveys water, decreases water pressure by 2%. Takes damage, means it needs to be repaired. So why do you need to filter the water? Because the machinery will break down quicker, like the harvester or the truck is also fueled by water. Everything's fueled by water in Hydroneer, right? So it's important to, although I haven't had any breakdowns, and I was watching another streamer today, and he said, I mean, he didn't say, but he wasn't using one, and you know what though, he didn't have his harvester hooked up yet either. So anyway, I don't know how long it'll take, because I've been using this from the start. I don't know how long it'll take to start showing damage. Alright, I think that's going to be a T and then R. Yeah, okay. So that's the filtration unit. Then this one is the one that creates the pressure. It's called the pressure tank. Whoops, I lost my shard bars. I'll tell you about that in a minute. So the pressure tank, place a shard inside to increase output water pressure by 25%. So this is where you get the power for the water pressure comes from the shard. Okay, so left click, and you just kind of have to move around to find the angle to get these to place, and then left click again. So you left click it and it opens the hatch there, and then you pick up your, you can either put shard pieces or a bar. This can be kind of tricky, so this is when your advanced placement is good. This is actually really works well. I'm impressed with what Max has done here. You hold down the placement key. It actually seems to kind of figure out that you're inside something, and watch it kind of, if you're outside here, it goes farther away, and then here it comes closer to you, and then as you get in there, it goes farther away, like it, and it kind of lights up, like it knows you're trying to put it in there. The game can detect that or something. Anyway, that was pretty good. Put this one in there too. I had a ton of pressure. You know what? I don't know if these decay both equally. I don't think I need 25% pressure since I'm only running the harvester right now. So I think I'm actually going to leave that out just for now. And I haven't seen any ingots go flying, so I feel pretty safe leaving that there. Next one is a valve, just so you can turn it off. Otherwise, it'll just drip, and like that. And it makes an annoying noise after a while. If it was a nice flowing gurgling, then that'd be great. Okay, so I need a couple of sections, and they do have pipe sections here at the local tool store. Tools and equipment. Notice the truck is gone from there. That's where you'll find the truck. I'll talk to you about that here in a minute. You won't really need it right away, but it's good to know. Alright, so straight sections over here. I think I need 2 of these. So it shows you what it is. Hit E to grab it. I know we've done this before. Drop this over here. Another one of these. Drop that off. Now I've already got some money in here. 446. I just leave some in each store. The other store at BridgePour is farther away. It's a little bit longer run. You can take the truck, which is kind of nice because it also allows you to carry multiple things because it's got cargo space in the back. I hope that's gonna, is that gonna line up? Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, there's an invisible grid under there. That's why it moved over all the way to the middle of the bridge, because it was on a grid. Okay, and this one. Now we'll be able to get the harvester working, and I can show you how that works. It's a little easier to do from the side, because sometimes point at the thing there, right there, is usually the easiest. Okay, now I had this ladder here for access to the pressure tank. Whoops. But I don't think I'm going to need that anymore. Still might be handy. I don't have anywhere else to put it right now anyway, so I'll leave it there. All right, let's harvest some ore. I don't think I can reach those from up there. Let me put this away so it doesn't go take a vacation. By the way, you watch a lot of Dre. Okay, I'll check Dre out. X and Y, X, Y, and Z. There's 3 axes, but I'm not sure. Let's see, R. I thought that was the. Let's see, rise over run. Is the X-axis is up and down. Y-axis is left and right, and Z. Pitch, yaw, and I'm not sure. I'd have to check. All right. I'm also live streaming on Twitch, and someone is chatting. So I don't think I can reach these pails from up here. Yep, can't. So I gotta put them like right there, or I don't want to put them here because that's my drop zone. When I empty it, I drop them right there. So I'm gonna jump down and put them in here. Or there maybe. Let's see. The cool thing about this is it's actually okay you can stack these. Just put them right back on top of each other. You can get 2 or 3 of them to stay on top of each other pretty reliably. Makes them easy to reach even when they don't, they fall over in a way that you can still manage them usually. Is that one not full? It's not, is it? It's half full. Oh. Here from YouTube 3 and here from YouTube 4. Huh. So you guys don't have like Twitch accounts or something, and you just clicked on something from YouTube and it brought you here? And just kind of signed you in anonymously? Is that why that's y'all's name? I'm brand new to this. I mean, this is literally my first Twitch stream. Not my first video, but my first Twitch stream. Diagonal, yeah, probably. But when we're talking about rotation, let's see, this way, and I don't see how. So x-axis would be rotating this way, I guess. That's R. T does this way, which is vertical, which I guess would be the y-axis, and then Z. No, T does this way, and then Z does this way. So how Z relates to diagonal in that context, I'm not sure, but I think you're right about that. But I don't know how to reconcile those two. Okay, so I'm gonna pick one of these up, and let's see. Actually, I need to turn on my valve over there. Can I reach it from here? It's here, isn't it? Yeah, there it goes. Alright, so did I get my thing on here? This is kind of cool because you can watch it. You can watch it come out. So watch down below when I dump this. Oops. Hold on, let me drop this guy off. that's okay. You just pick it up and drop it again. Get the circle right over there. And you can, once the circle's there, you can still look down and still drop straight and watch it come out. Oh, it wants to, I need to lock that. See how it bounced all over the place? I think it hit this one up here too. That stuff was flying all the way on beyond that table before, the first few times I did this. Oh boy. And I think the first time I did a whole bunch of them, not really paying that much of attention, or I was and didn't care because it was fun, and it was just shooting them everywhere. And I even knew that was going to happen because I had already read reviews and watched a couple of videos, and somebody said, yeah, I spent an hour picking up all my gold. I didn't care. It's fun. And it's been fun, that was too. And it's been fun for me to try to devise a way to get this capturing system to work. This is actually quite effective. Well, I shouldn't say that. We'll see when we get down below and how much mess there is, because not all of it's going in the cauldron, I guarantee you. This is going pretty well right now. I did a good placement of the pails down there. I didn't do so good on the last one. Yeah, that's going really well. I hear a lot of clinking. Guarantee you there's something in the ground down there, though. I wonder if it'll let me dump that half bucket. I've tried that. Oh! I need to get the wrong cut buttons here. Yeah, I've got a filter. She asked us if I'm using a filter. Username is here from YouTube. I said it is that when I made the account. So is here from YouTube 4? Is that you also? Is that a friend of yours? I mean, not that I really care. Just curious. Oops, that still had stuff in it. No, it didn't. Why I call you she. Did you indicate at some point that you were a she? You're probably not a she, are you? Alright. I'm a he. Yep. Alright, dude. Let's try, here's the half one. Let's see if it'll let me use that. Yep, just a smaller bit of dirt. Ooh, jumped off. It's my, oh, in case I ever lose my password. Yeah, it's good to have those. Does you have like a verification on there, like your phone number or alternate email address? Is that not good enough? That's what I do. But you're right, you don't want to lose your account. But if you forget your password, you can reset it if you have an alternate email in there, or if they can text you, you know, like a verification code or something. The mouse keeps getting pulled over to my other screen. Yeah, there it is. Alright, I'm excited because viewers, we've been waiting a long time to make jewelry where we can make some really good money. And we're almost there. Alright, so here we go. Alright, I'm going to move these back down to here because Otherwise, I'll kick them all over the place and they'll make noise, and it's really annoying. And they need to go down there anyway for the next load. It's even okay if those are stacked. So if you stay in the same position when you're moving things from one place to the other, then it's easier to drop them right on top of the same place. That was a generous fall. I need to move some of that dirt right there. Why don't I just do that now? Alright. So I'm gonna go ahead and smelt that. I smelt everything. A lot of people I've noticed, or some people who play the game, actually get out the pick and just start digging through the topsoil to the bottom stuff, because the pick, if you use the pick, whatever dirt you hit with the pick will be gone. Gone. Like, you can't smelt, you can't do anything with it. So, like, that hole, there's no dirt. It's gone. So to me, it's kind of a waste, because I was getting gold and iron right from the beginning, right in the topsoil. And I'm not in a hurry to get through it all, so I smelt everything. So while I'm cleaning up here these areas like that one, I'm gonna put that in a bucket and put it in the harvester at some point. Alright, so that cleaned up that area, and my pails won't bop around as much. I'd like to be able to get that one, but it won't let me, and I don't want to take from there, because then might have problems stepping up there, and placing it back right in the right spot can really be tough. But I do want to get that and that, and that cleans up real nicely. Can I get that? Yep. And that. Excellent. True, but logging into Alt until I fix it works a lot faster. Oh, okay. Make more money at the stock market versus the jeweler. You do when the price is up. But I've noticed that because there's some stocks right next to the jeweler up there, just up the hill, and when the price is down, you get more from the jeweler. If I need the money right away, I'll sell it and just kind of say, oh, I'll go to the jeweler. Or if I don't have an option, or I might wait if I need the money right away. Otherwise, I'll just pile it up on the table there, and each time I go back to the stocks, I'll wait till it's up, and I keep track of. Well, the one I was selling the most was like either 19 or 20. Those were the iron ingots. But you're right. You can make more money there if you play the timing right. Okay, so I was, let's see, moving these down. Then we're going to clean up, and we're going to sell, and we're going to make some ingots, and we're going to make the jewelry. Then we will, let's see, what are we going to do after the jewelry? Oh, we'll talk about the truck and get you caught up on a few other things. All right. I don't want to step across there really that much. I mean, I will, but I don't want to kick that stuff around. It doesn't happen that much, but I can do it from here. I can move these things, bring that over here, and just start putting these in. 1, 2. So this is pretty good. I'd say I'd give this an 8 out of 10 for how well I captured everything that came through. I'm quite pleased with this, if that's all there is. Oh, you know what? I forgot to check though. Let me grab this. My game's starting to lag. Get a little choppy. Alright, so yeah, see, there's some still stuck in the funnel there. Let me put this away. Can I reach to there? Not quite. Yeah, okay. Long arms in this game. Nice. At least when you're... Okay, so... oh, well, I'll just just drop it through. I didn't bring any containers with me. Only 2. That was pretty lucky. I think we're getting some good. We're getting some good ricochet off the inside of the inside of this contraption I've made here. Dre, I don't know Dre. Dre, streams Hydroneer. You're not hacking me or something, right, with 2 accounts. Why do you have both of your accounts connected? I'm kind of new at this. He has a YouTube series on it. Sorry for being suspicious. I mean, I guess I'm not sorry, but I guess my question is, why do you have both accounts logged in if one of them's just to as a backup? Okay, so I made a sapphire there. Oh, did y'all notice? So, sorry, that was not an iron ore. That was an uncut gem. So I really ought to take the iron ore out of here before I put more stuff in it. I don't like to lose stuff, so I've been known to empty the whole thing out and pick it out. Not when it's gold, but I have been known to go through a whole cauldron of iron ore to make sure I didn't get any uncut gems in there, because they really look the same or similar, and sometimes the gems can be underneath the iron nuggets. It won't let me get that. There is an iron nugget under there, see it? Right there. But when I grab it, it picks up the cauldron. I got it. Okay. Where's my other... Wow, there's really good light right now. Oh no, where's my other cauldron? Don't tell me it flew away. That would be really a bummer. It has done that before. I found it right up here. So this is actually a good thing to talk about. Your stuff will disappear, and can be from just a glitch, can be from kicking it, can be from... I saw Max, the developer, doing a dev update back in summer of 2019 when he was first doing some of the physics, and all he did was drop a nugget into a pail, and it hit the very edge and took off like 200 feet. There was no terrain, there was no grass, no trees or anything, so you could see exactly where it went, how far, and where it landed, and he goes "Arr!" and his character looked up at the sky. So he's well aware, and he's working on it. It's kind of a I've heard other people talk about it too. It's just kind of a characteristics of voxel based engines or something like that. All right, so I'm looking for my cauldron, and I really want to find it. I guess I can afford another one these days, but it's really painful to lose them. Let me just have a quick look around, because I may find some more things that have gotten away. Dude, the most advanced computer thing I can do is hit F12 on the Google homepage. Well, you do have a, well, you told me you have a Chromebook. Yeah, it's not a good computer for a hacker, that's for sure. Yeah, it's cool, man. I'm just, go all white and see. There's a Google homepage on the school's PC and make the screen go all white, and I'm logged in on the other. It's because it's on my phone and I never swipe away the apps that are running in the background. Why? That makes sense. To your left by the harvester. Oh, thanks. All right, cool, man. To the left by the harvester. Got a weird key for crouch. I don't see it. Man, that's a bummer because it's full of iron ore. At least it's not the gold. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and... that's a bummer. This one's ready to go, so I'll pick that one up. That's a good idea. Yeah, I saw the having Twitch on your phone. I saw the thing when I was setting it up yesterday, or it might have been today, about having it on your phone. I was probably going to do that. Pretty cool. Pretty cool thing, Twitch TV, and some pretty cool communities, people I've found there so far. All right, I gotta bite the bullet here and actually finish my sweep looking for this cauldron full of iron ore. I'm not gonna sweat it out, sweat it too much, but I will make a quick inspection of the area. So you don't have a Twitch account, or you just you like the name Here from YouTube? You do have a Twitch account, and you just decided to call yourself Here from YouTube. I didn't. Did you leave it at the store? Maybe. I didn't take it to the store. I don't take the cauldron to the store, at least not on purpose. No, I had it here. Wait a minute. Didn't I have it here? Did I knock it into the mine? I made a dagger not too long ago. I would have... Oh, it's in the forge. Oh man, which means my yeah, which means my my metal's gone. I got distracted. Okay, at least I have my crucible. That's no big deal. Wait a minute. That was my gold. Oh wait, it's still in there. Okay. You can leave it in too long and it will burn it, so be careful about that. And let's see, do I want to sell that now or just make a ring and store it for a little while? I gotta eat while I'm talking to you guys. Because the bigger the ring, do I need the money right now? Let's see, what's the next thing? The next thing I'm going to do is, let's see, what else do I need to show you guys? All right, we'll come back to that in a minute, decide whether or not we're going to sell that. Let's talk about the truck. Let me take this and set them over here real quick. Don't need all of these right now. I empty the trunk. Now there's the pail. I do take the pail sometimes to... I do take the pail sometimes to the store so I can carry multiple things, and if I want to take money with me, so I'm actually going to leave that in there. All the money's at the store. Okay, so you'll find the truck. You just hit Q. See, it says Q right there. It's one of my favorite letters. To run the truck. It's real easy to drive. Let's see, where am I going with it? Oh, I was going to show you that where to find it. Okay, I won't do that. You find it right over. See the store in the background I'm pointing to? It's parked right in front of there. But you really won't need it to go to that store. You'll need it to go to this other store. So let me show you, oops, where the other store is. Now these vehicles, I haven't had it happen to me yet, but I have seen other people's videos where the truck just like takes off and flips over, and then it's suspended in the air and is spinning and rotating like a gyroscope. And most people just laugh or they might scoff a little, but most people just kind of laugh and hit the unstuck, and off they go. I have seen some. I thought somebody said their vehicle got stuck. I'm not sure. I didn't watch that through, but I imagine that could happen. But it's not hard to find help in the Discord channel if you ever need it. How we doing on time? 46 minutes in the video. So you take a right here. We're going to get to BridgePour. Is this other town where there's good shops. Oh man, you're going to love this town. All kinds of good stuff. So I hit Q to hop out. And the first thing I will come across is the scrapyard. I haven't used it yet. I did see Max talking about it in the dev update. Something about putting, scrap on here and selling it for salvage, getting some coin. Reuse, recycle. And alright, so this is the furniture area, a place I will probably won't spend a lot of time, but most people will. Most of these things you don't use, they just kind of look good, but I probably will add a few things at some point, but I'm much more of a functional type. Stores iron and gold bars for safekeeping. Safe from what? Are they in danger from flying away? Haven't had any yet or read about it. Golden head statue, 1,200 coin. Who says money can't buy taste? Oh, look at the fancy table, 140 coin. 14,500 thrown. I guess it's nice to have something to buy if you do, at some point we're going to be filthy rich, right, in this game. And if you have nothing to buy, it's no fun. So this is great. This is for the people that are up there, something to buy with your money. Fancy table. Oh, look, you have two different. Oh, well, that's a fancy carpet on top of the table, right? Okay, or fancy carpet can hang. That is pretty cool. I actually like that. All right, so that's the the fancy furniture store right after the scrapyard. And next is housing. There's a bed. You can also get this bed, and I highly recommend this as soon as you can, because if you click on it, when it's nighttime, it'll instantly make it daytime, so you don't have to be in the dark. However, even though it is dark, even though it is daytime, it wakes you up right at dawn, and it's still kind of not very bright. It's kind of dark, so it's nice to have a few light posts around. They're only 32 coin. Here's some of your facades. Large wall with window. Oh wow, only 20 each? Okay, so that makes it like a no-brainer. I gotta make a hut. 15. I was thinking that was gonna be really expensive. Here's your pails. I have 9 pails. 9 is a very special number. Ask me why if you want. Paintbrush. Yeah, so again, more aesthetics, but yeah, I may paint it sometime. Nice looking door. I do like the door. Medieval stuff is kind of my thing. I don't like the torture, but I do like the time period. A pole used for full decoration. Now, I did use some of these tin sheets. Look at that, 4 coin, and the equivalent stairs is 31. So and here's the long sheet. There's a long ramp and a short ramp. Oh, and just a tin sheet. So these are actually designed for channeling resources. So I guess if you had something dumping out dirt, and you wanted to create a funnel, you wanted to funnel it somewhere, that's what that's for. So these are really handy. I'm actually going to get another tool rack. I need. Whoops. Watch what happens when you run out without it. Listen. No more No more consequence than that I can detect anyway. You never know if there's an underlying karma variable, right? Alright, so large wood foundation. I bought one of these just to have it around to play with. It's in the newbie area. There's a window. Natural indoor lighting. Only five coins. So really cheap to build a simple table, a simple house. And there's the table. It's one of the tables I bought. And there's the construction hammer. Fishing. I caught a couple of fish. I didn't see much. The only point in it that I could see is for the trophy. And I don't. It's not really my bag. Why is that 78? Oh, do I have something? That's not 78, is it? It is. Alright. Which do I have in there? 486. Okay, you know what? I don't really need to have... Where's my... Oh. The truck's over here. Let's see. I would say for the necklace, yeah. If I don't need the money, you're right. That's good. That's a good call. You should make a throne room out of dirt, and then get a throne for the ultimate flex. Throne room out of dirt, then get a throne for the ultimate flex. Ultimate flex. I don't know what you mean by that. I'm willing to donate the dirt. Thanks. Okay, so let's go get the money out of there. So you can leave money in stores that you return to a lot. I don't anticipate coming back here anytime real soon. I would be spending more money. There's 408 coin there. More money in this store, which is the one I was saving for, well, not last, but there are other things to show you in this town. But so I've already got some money in there. I'm going to drop it together. If you drop it right on it, they'll combine. I've got 591. This is the really good, the really awesome store. You get your Goliath drill, which extends the drill downward, yields more better. Yield is better with more water pressure, so water pressure and filtration becomes an issue in this game. Filtration, because dirty water makes your machines run down sooner. Gets damaged from unfiltered water, it says. Ram drill, 385 coin. Ram's top level dirt works faster with better water pressure. Gets damaged from unfiltered water. Same as the other stuff. There's a funnel there, only 100. I remember it wanting it sooner than I can afford it, and I still only have one. And it's of course I only have a single station. I mean, I would make multiple stations if I thought I was going to be here for a while in this newbie area for a while. But I know I'm going to move um, to the player plot. So there are plots for large pieces of land ready for us to move to from this newbie area when we outgrow that, which will eventually happen. So the harvester, this is what I did by, I probably jumped the gun. I probably should have gone with the conveyor system first, but I happened to have seen this, and well, it reminds me of the old of the what was the first Star Wars? Star Wars Galaxies was the first Star Wars online game to go on, and that was the first. Well, I mean, there was a harvester in Dune 2 also, but that was the for some reason that. So I dig harvesters, I guess. So anyway, I went for that. So what am I talking about? I should have gone for the conveyor. So here is, that's not it. There's another conveyor component that crunches up. Here, conveyor shredder. Shreds dirt chunks into small pieces, higher water pressure, improved speed. And that's half price. So I think the game, was probably intended for me to do this system first, to crunch the dirt, but I didn't. So, but I am going to do that next. So I'll decide afterwards if I think I should have done that or not. And then here's some more pipe sections, same as in the other store. On this table, also same as in the other store. A cork is really handy for like the I put a valve on my normal pipe, right, that's coming out of my main intake. But I also noticed on the other side of, like, look at these conveyor equipment. They've got an intake on one side and an outflow on the other side. And if I don't want, that's so you can put them in series, right? So you can put a whole bunch of them together. But if I don't do that, then I don't want a valve sticking out. I have to walk around. So it's really handy now. I see why he has the cork, why the Max developed cork. All right, what else were we talking about here? Blacksmithing hammer, really pricey. There's your cauldron. That's the same stuff that's in the other store on this table, except for the conveyor belt. Then there's a vertical conveyor belt for moving things up and down. Then there's the conveyor splitter. This is the really handy thing, which I'm looking forward to, which used to move resources around a base, splits off selected resources onto a new conveyor belt. So I guess this will split off the gems versus the iron versus the gold. Oh, that'll be beautiful. Conveyor belt used to move resources. Okay. So that's all of the conveyor equipment. Then you get the mining helmet. We've seen those. That in the map in the other store. You've seen these things in the other store. Now here's the magnets. I haven't used these yet. They're really expensive. And I don't know. It almost feels like cheating a little bit. I mean, I would do it, if it got really large scale and I had a whole bunch of stuff to pick up. But I have not spent the money to buy a magnet to pick up all this stuff. I would rather spend my time solving the problem of capturing them. That's actually one of the things that I like the most is uh, having a problem like that, but then having the tools within the game to do something like I did, just completely invent something. I didn't see that, and that's one of the reasons I don't watch too much first, because I don't want to get too many ideas that it would take me off in one direction. I want to just kind of see which way I go with my own self. Once you can, you should buy that big drill truck thing. Okay, yeah, I'll probably do that. The magnets aren't very good. I don't think they're worth it. I have seen it being used. Okay, keep that in. Take that under advisement. Thank you. Like you have to walk super slow to use it. Okay, good point. Uh, wow, and for that much money, I was thinking it'd be just really easy. Tracks resources when activated. Fancy magnet on a stack. This tracks resources in a large area. So I wonder how large. Hey, welcome back. This is Kidge. Actually, I'm going to insert this at the end of the last one. I had a little bit of technical difficulty, so I'm going to pick up where I left off. We were in the store in BridgePour. I was showing you the last two items there, and those are the scale and the grindstone. So the grindstone's super easy to use. I don't have any uncut gems right here to show you. I think I might have done one earlier while I was recording, but it looks a lot like this, except it's going to have some little crystals poking out of it. Anyway, you just pick it up and come and click on the grinding stone, and it turns it into a cut gem. And tomorrow, on the next episode, I'll show you how to build that into a necklace and or a ring. The next thing was the scale, which is super cool, especially for geeky computer spreadsheet type of people like me. It's fun for me to measure all these things and determine, what the optimal weight is, or how much, if is it true that the more metal I add, the more money I make, and if so, does that proportion go down as it goes up? And so, and what's the optimal proportion, to make? And I don't necessarily want to make the most expensive one. I want to make the one that makes me the most money for the most raw material. So anyway, the scale is pretty fun with that, and you can put just about anything on there, anything that you make anyway, whether it's a ring or what have you, because the nuggets are of different sizes and different weights. So let's see, this one is, let's put this piece of iron nugget on there. It is a weight 0.99 and 8 coin. I love the fact that the game doesn't just give you round number sizes, just because it's quite realistic in that they can be different sizes, and the weight of the ingots that you end up with could be different, and so that's kind of cool. So you can put lots of metal. The more metal you put into your sword, the bigger it is, and the more it's gonna sell for. Same thing with the jewelry and the other weapons and so forth. So that's kind of fun. You can also put like a pail if you have a container with stuff in it, and you want to know how much that weighs. It'll do that. So like, here's my pail of gems, cut gems. I can put the whole pail on there. And can't I? No. I could. That's odd. Must be something in there that can't be calculated. Can these not be weighed? Is this not for gems? Yeah. That's interesting. Everything in there is a gem, right? Huh. Okay, so I guess you can't do that. Let me try it with some nuggets. Okay, I'm mistaken. I guess I was piling them on there individually. You can obviously move them around like that, and you can sell multiple things at the jeweler or at the stocks by putting them into a container, but I guess you can't put them on the scale that way. But this is what I was just doing, just stacking them up. They do bounce off of there a little bit, especially the ring. It's hard to set the ring on there, so sometimes I'll do an advanced placement and hold the button down. So you can, geeks like me will put the ore on there first, and then make it into a bar and see how much we lose through the smelting process, and then calculate if there's a significant difference, how much raw material we need to make so much ink, to make so much metal, those sorts of things. But the scale can, for most people they just tell them how much they can get for it. Now the price that it shows you is the jeweler price, not the stock price, not the one that fluctuates with the market. So that's what the jeweler will give you, and that's a pretty flat price. Pretty sure, I haven't checked it, but that's the impression I get from other people. Those prices don't fluctuate. I mean, they fluctuate based on how much metal is in your piece, and the size, and perhaps the type of gem. But I think they stay consistent. In other words, the same weight and the same gem is going to get the same price at the jeweler, whereas it's going to fluctuate on the stock market. Okay, so that's all there is for this one, and we'll wrap up episode 2, and we'll see you guys next time for episode 3. Thanks for watching. Hit the like and subscribe if you want. Have fun. Aloha.